Hi friends, my name is Micaiah Owens. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, which means I'm recognized by the Idaho Board of Medicine as your food expert. If you've been with me for any amount of time, you know that I typically like to pack my videos full of evidence-based information to help you move forward on your nutrition journey. Today, I am going to still help you move forward on your nutrition journey, but it's going to look a little different than it typically does. I'm not going to include studies on what the best practice is for nutrition or healing your relationship with food, but I'm going to give you something a little bit better. It's going to be the power of testimony, which can sometimes be more encouraging than a scientific study because it's somebody's real life experience. Before we dive in, I want to let you know that I've created a free resource that goes right along with this video, and it's going to help you start your nutrition journey. Go ahead and find it in the video description below. Scroll down and get it now. All right, so like I said, today I want to talk to the people that have maybe been dieting for years and years, or maybe you have been living with body loathing for way too long and you have started to lose hope in your nutrition journey and you don't even know if change is possible for you in your life. I want to share with you some real life stories of people that I've personally worked with in my office who might have come to me in the exact same spot that you find yourself in today. Through some changes, we were able to create a new life for them that they might have not even known were possible. I do want you to know that I have changed their names so that you have no idea who I'm talking about, but their stories and the facts that I share with you are completely true. Let's look at case number one. Christiana was a patient that came to me after being on Weight Watchers, and she had lost a significant amount of weight while following the Weight Watchers diet. So she felt really good while she was on the diet. However, she developed some disordered eating patterns while on the diet. So she realized that, and she wanted to try out intuitive eating while she was in the maintenance phase. So she tried to apply the principles of intuitive eating after being on the Weight Watchers diet. And what she found was that she ended up gaining a lot of the weight back that she had lost on Weight Watchers. So she was just completely dissatisfied with her body when she came in to see me, and she was wanting to ditch dieting mindsets, but she also had a desire to stabilize her weight again. She was frustrated with a demanding work schedule as well. She didn't get home till around 7 p.m., so it made it really hard for her to be able to cook dinner for herself. And because she was so busy at work during the day, she would oftentimes skip lunch, or she wouldn't really eat that much during the day. But then when she came home, she found that her cravings were out of control. She felt like she binged right before dinner on snacks, and then she'd eat a lot at dinner still, but she wasn't satisfied. And she described herself as having a big sweet tooth. She always felt like she had to have something sweet after dinner. So to try to compensate for that, for the 2 to 3 weeks leading up to coming to see me in the office, she was unsuccessfully trying to restrict dessert to try to curb her cravings. Over the course of 2 months, Christina and I worked together, and we were able to restabilize her weight while still allowing her body to be the guide for her food intake. We adjusted the timing of her meals, and we made sure that she was getting a lot of dense nutrition in the earlier part of her day, which actually totally took care of her late night after work cravings. She was fueling her body in a way that allowed her to focus better at work, and she never came home ravenous anymore. An unplanned bonus to Christina's success was that she was actually able to sleep a lot better at night because she wasn't going to bed with a cramping stomach due to her binging. So her sleep habits improved as a bonus. It wasn't even something that was planned. She was forever changed when she found balance by properly fueling and knowing how to apply principles of intuitive eating to her life. She just needed a little bit of one-on-one expert help to marry the two. Case number 2 is Destiny. She was a patient that came to me with a history of anorexia. She struggled to get enough carbohydrates into her day-to-day eating. So she was also very active, and she wanted to make sure that she was fueling her days with enough nutrition to allow her body to engage in that physical activity. Likely due to her eating disorder, she also had a lot of bloating and GI distress when she came to me, and she couldn't really pinpoint it to any of the specific foods that she was eating, so she was a little bit confused on how to handle this, and it made it hard for her to control. Destiny and I worked to maximize her nutritional intake while addressing the foods that were likely causing the bloating that she was experiencing. And within 5 months of working with me, Destiny noticed significant improvement in her bloating, and she also noticed that she had crazy amounts of energy, which helped her sustain her physical activity. She was super excited because she was able to find a way to support her body through proper nutrition and still continue on her eating disorder recovery by maintaining her weight through adequate nutrition throughout the day. Case number 3. This is the last person that I want to highlight to you, and her name is Courtney. She came to me with severe body dysmorphia, and she had been dieting for many, many years. She hated the way that she looked, and she had gained weight because she had to get on a couple different medications that she couldn't get off of, but the weight gain actually was contributing to her body dysmorphia even more. So she came to me looking for answers on how to find holistic health, how to change her mindset around food, and learn to incorporate healthy eating in her day-to-day life. So after 6 months of working with me, Courtney was seeing herself in a whole new way. She was able to break down mental barriers that were then subsequently causing her physical barriers to her health and food and her weight. She did some tough work in rerouting her mental thought patterns, which allowed her to properly fuel herself throughout the day and say bye-bye to restriction cycles that she had previously lived in and known and learned to find comfortable 6 months after she had worked with me. So we worked together for 6 months, and then 6 months after we were not working together, she came back to me with praise that she was able to maintain the work that she completed while being a patient of mine. So it was successful for her and sustaining for the long run. It wasn't just while we were working together, that she was able to change the way she saw herself and actually change her physical body. I could go on and on with stories about breaking through years and years of barriers about confusion around food or body image issues. Seeing people untangle lies that they've been living under never gets old for me. Some common themes that you might have noticed from these stories are it took time. It wasn't a 1-month fix. Some of them took 6 months in order to change the patterns that they had been living under. They were also able to do really tough work. These ladies had to do some things that were not easy, but they were brave and saying yes and saying goodbye to some patterns that weren't serving them anymore. And you know what? They found on the other side new life. If any part of these stories resonates with you, know that this could be your reality as well. These ladies were willing to take a step of faith and try something new and say goodbye to things that weren't working for them anymore. My question to you is, what is holding you back? If you didn't already download the free resource listed in the video description, make sure to do that now so you can get started on your food freedom journey today.